This is the Critical Conversations podcast, a KPOV special project developed to feature unique perspectives and the courage it takes to go there, challenge mundane thought, and question the norm.
Hello, Robert Mason, and welcome to the Monday Point. We're thrilled to have you with us to talk about a nonprofit which has helped people all over the world called Letters Against Depression.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So can you begin by telling us a little bit about yourself and what led you to start Letters Against Depression?
Sure. I've always dealt with depression and other mental illnesses as I was growing up, and I didn't know what the term for it really was. I just thought it was how I was, and I was different, and I had all this inside, but I had no way of getting it out. And I lived with it all of my life without really finding any ways to get help or tell anyone about it. I just it was inside of me, my burden to bear. And that kept going. And I was able to function. I was able to go day to day, and I wasn't having really bad crashes. But a series of events occurred almost 10 years ago now where I couldn't handle it. I couldn't keep moving forward. And it was causing me to spiral more and more into my depression. And I didn't have any words for what it was. I didn't have any idea how to stop it, but I just knew that every single day I was getting worse and worse. And through that process, I tried to find ways to help myself. And one of the ways that I connected was writing in a journal. I would handwrite in a journal just what was going on, get everything out of my head and put it down on paper. And I was writing 6, 8, 10 hours a day sometimes to get this out. I couldn't stop. And what I found is that after a week, 2 weeks, I would look back at what I wrote and I could see the improvement that I was going through. Things were getting better. And I could also see that a lot of the feelings that I had were just lies that my brain was kind of feeding me as we went through. So that helped me fuel my healing journey, where at that point I realized all those feelings I had just weren't true. And it was leading me down this really dark path that as I started coming out of that depression and out of that spiral, I just had this overwhelming need that I wanted to yell out to anyone that was going through the same thing. I want to find some way that I can connect with them, let them know their brain's lying to them, to not do anything drastic or, just you can do this, you're not alone. And with that, I just try to think of ways, how can I do that? How can I reach so many people and let people know? And that's when it just I looked over at my journals and I'm all like, a stamp can reach anywhere in the world. It's kind of anonymous more, so it's easier to reach out for help from a stranger. So I was like, maybe people reach out and I can be that lifeline to them. So in the fall of 2014, I put together the concept for Letters Against Depression, got it all set up and put it out there to start, sending letters of hope and support to people.
So you found something worked so well for you in healing that you wanted to spread it and share it with other people.
Absolutely. And not only was it helping other people, but then me writing to these people reinforced more to me as well that I wasn't alone in this and that I can do good in this world and do things. So it was fueling my healing at the same time that I was helping others. And it was this just great relationship of healing as we went through.
I was wondering if you expected Letters Against Depression to get as big as it has, because it's in over 60 countries and over 40,000 letters have been delivered now.
Yeah, I never imagined. When I started this, I didn't think that anyone else would connect to what I do or want to help write letters. That was my burden to bear. It was my piece that I was going to do to help people. So it could never have gotten to this level at what I was thinking, because I just thought I'd write letters for, as long as I could to people, one at a time. And eventually, very quickly, actually, people would write to me and be like, "Hey, how do I get involved? How do I write?" And I'm like, "Are you crazy? Like, you want to write and spend your time doing this? You sure you don't need letters?" That's, and it took a little bit to kind of put the framework and build. And that's the great thing that we've been able to do is, as we've kind of morphed through the years and kind of going through, we're able to update and change and modify how we do things to make sure that we're doing things in the best way we can to get everyone involved, but have it be safe and secure for everyone that's going through the process.
Could you explain the process on how to sign up if you need help, and then also how to sign up as a volunteer?
Yeah, both ways start at the same place. You would go to our website, which is lettersagainst.org. And from there, you're able to sign up for a letter. If you're struggling, you need help, you can go to the site. There's a very simple form that'll walk you through, kind of in a conversational way, to kind of learn more about you. We do keep all of that information safe and secure. So you don't have to worry about strangers are going to know my address or my email address. That's not what happens. We keep that here. And we've designed a process where after you've filled out this information and it goes to our volunteer portal, people write letters. They send them to me here in Florida. We make sure that they're safe and secure from here, that there's nothing harmful in them, and then from here, we send it off to the recipient so that they can get that letter. They know it's just from our location. We're not, giving their address, and they'll continue to receive letters as long as they would like. We still write to the first person that signed up in 2014, October of 2014. And we will continue to send letters, cards, and all that during that time. If you're looking to volunteer, you want to write, you want to help those. We have a huge need, a great need for more people to write and complete those activities with us. You go to the same place, lettersagainst.org. There's a very simple area where you can sign up to gain access to the portal to then see the names and stories of the people that we write to. It's a really quick sign up. It's just your email address, basically, and your password that you want so that you can have access. And then everything is self-driven from there. You're able to look through, choose who you want to write to, someone that you connect with. Doesn't have to be, they talk about their interests. So maybe you see that someone is interested in Marvel or Disney, and that's maybe you're in. That's what you want to write about. You write a letter just about Marvel, about Disney, something to them they're going to get it and just see that someone's there, someone cares. So, you don't have to overthink it. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't know if I could say things to help. We're not there. The letters aren't there to cure. They're really there for comfort. Let them know they're not alone, that they're worth it, that, it's meaningful. So as a volunteer, you would be able to go through. It's self-driven, all the instructions, everything's there. And then it's as often as you want. If you want to write one letter and be done, you can. If you want to write every week, every month, whatever it is, whenever you'd like to write, you just send them in, and no expectations or anything like that. So either way, just at the website, lettersagainst.org to sign up.
I saw if you don't have time to write a full letter, you can also volunteer by sending holiday cards or hugs. Could you explain what a hug is?
Absolutely. So as we've gone through the years and we're finding more and more ways that we can connect with the people that we write to. And we realized as we went through that not everyone is a writer. Not everyone has the ability to really put their feelings or put that on paper and feel comfortable with that. So people came and they're like, I'm more artistic, or, I have this. And so we've been able to design different ways that those that maybe don't like to write, maybe your handwriting, you're like, they just wouldn't be able to read it. It's not something I could do. And that's totally fine. So the hugs are what we call the added little extras that we can include in an envelope just to help send that love. The most common one that we have is index card artwork. So if you think a regular, 3x5 or whatever size index card, just decorate it with some color. You put a nice saying. Maybe it's something like, you are not alone. You matter. Just something positive that they're going to look at and see. And then we send that in with the letter. We'll put it in with, we'll match it up to someone we think that message is going to be great for. Send it through. We've had people that come through and they're like, my passion is crocheting. Is there something I can do? And absolutely. We have crocheted hearts that we send, especially during the holidays and through our birthdays and holidays, cards that we send. We send a crocheted heart just to, again, remind them. Maybe they're a high school or college student that wants to tie that to their backpack or put it on your car in the rearview mirror, something to just remind you as you see it that someone cares, someone wanted to make that and send it. And then the birthday cards, we send everyone that signs up, we send them their birthday card because they deserve to be celebrated. And it's another point that we can reach out to them and let them know they're special. But we also allow them to choose 2 celebrations throughout the year that are important to them. We have a very wide, diverse set of celebrations that they can choose from to then say, these are my favorite holidays, or, even things like Star Wars Day, May 4th, things that people connect with that could be a special touch point that we can do. And we get cards made up, we send them out. Last year, we did like 8,000 cards alone to the people that we write to. And it's just a great way to give more contact throughout the year to let them know that they're not in this alone. They have a whole army of people behind them and rooting for them and just wanting them to be the best that they can be.
And you run this whole company in your free time, right? Don't you also have a day job? So you're doing this out of the kindness of your heart.
Yeah. This is my passion. So, a lot of people there, they play video games, they watch movies or read, and that's their way of kind of stepping away from the day and having their time. And this truly, Letters Against Depression is my free time. I have a job. I work full-time career with Disney as a financial systems analyst. That is a more than 40-hour-a-week job. But when I get done at the end of the day, that's my time. And that's where I really enjoy, sitting here, going through, reading the letters people are sending and getting those out, getting the cards out, things like that. This is, and I still, even to this day, this is my passionate thing that I can do that I enjoy doing every single night.
And you also offer different workshops, like techniques of letter writing. And what other workshops do you offer?
Oh, there's a wide gamut of them. And one of the things that we've been able to do is we expanded within this last year to have an internship program to bring on people that are really passionate about mental wellness and as well as nonprofits and want to see the inside of how one works and how they can help. And the workshops actually came from that, where they're able to host things that are important to them. So maybe it's skills on how to better cope. It could be letter writing techniques. They really, the interns, the amazing interns that we have the ability to kind of mold those in the way that they would like to help pass along maybe a portion they're passionate about, or that they can go and research and put together a workshop to present out as well.
A lot of communities have call-in hotlines for people who are having some emotional experience or problem that they would like to discuss. And I know those are a great help. But as I think about what you're doing, it seems like the benefit of having something in writing, whether it's a card or a note that comes, people can always go back to that and revisit it and then benefit from that again. Unlike a conversation that's over the phone, and you can't retrieve that exactly.
That's exactly right. When people reach out to those type of hotlines, they're really saying they're at the end of what they can handle. They need help. They're reaching out. So that's kind of an immediate, I need help now. We're trying to preempt that and give them that kind of hope and support before they reach those points to hopefully keep them knowing that they're important and that they have people that care. But yes, we hear all the time that people will save them and pull out their box of letters and they'll read them and how it still, even a bunch of times later, will resonate with them. Even though they've read it dozens of times, it still has that meaning.
So do you have a personal success story that you could share with us for our listeners today? Of course, anonymous.
We've received on many occasions, multiple times now, and it still gets me every time, when we get feedback that one of our letters literally saved their life, that they will say, your letter saved my life today, that they've given up and they went to the mailbox, and the mailbox, as you know, isn't always the thing of joy. You get bills, you get, spam mail and that. And here's this lifeline that comes out, and they'll read it and connect with it. And it gives them the fuel to keep moving forward. And that alone, that even there's the first time that happened, that was like, it was all worth it. And then to hear that on a regular basis from people and know that our letters are having that impact, that's the success story right there.
From looking at your webpage too, it looks like you have a lot of family support in this too. I see that your mom is on the board, and Jen Mason, who I'm going to guess maybe is your wife.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. When we started out, they were amazing. They wanted to help out any way they could. And that's been amazing. My family support, I didn't let people know what I was going through for so long. I didn't know I had that support. And as soon as I did, that support was immediately there. And they have been absolutely amazing through the whole journey.
What is your dream for this company going forward, since you've already accomplished so much with it?
I just keep moving forward. We find new and innovative ways as we go through to find ways to make that impact. And we'll continue doing that. We're looking at multiple ways of an interactive app. Maybe the whole thing we want to do is break down the barriers that exist for mental health today. And money-wise, getting help, we want to try to eliminate those. So if we can find ways to get the help that people need without having a barrier of money, time, location, we will find those ways to do that. And we will continue to find ways in our program to implement those to kill those barriers.
And do you find that Letters Against Depression helps fight the stigma related to mental health?
Yeah. People, once they find that they're not alone in this, that their mindset isn't unique, that they're not the only one going through it, it becomes easier to talk about it. It's not a unique situation that no one's going to understand. Everyone's going to understand. And I have definitely seen in the time since we have started, we've seen that stigma break down more and more. There's still a far way to go, but it's getting there.
And then lastly, I did want to bring up your internship program since it is new. And I noticed that you have 3 different branches relating to it. Could you talk about the 3 different areas in the internship program?
So actually, we kind of change it up quite a bit. And really, it's finding people that have an ability to fit into or be able to drive us in a direction that we need to go. So data analytics or social media. Social media is huge because that's how we find people. We don't advertise. We're out there. People are talking about what we do and what they see. And that's kind of the driving factor behind that. And then we're looking volunteer engagement, ways that we can retain, find more volunteers, keep them on board, make sure that what they're doing they feel is benefiting, and keep continuing to drive that forward momentum.
So we are coming towards the last minute of our interview. So I would love for you to, again, cite your website and tell the audience how they can get more involved in Letters Against Depression.
Yeah, so the website is lettersagainst.org. And there it's really the one-stop shop for whether you would like to receive letters or to help us write them. If you're looking for help, if you struggle, even if you just have days where you just feel disconnected, you're feeling down, you don't have to have a diagnosis. Nothing official like that. If you would like to get letters, all you do is you go to the website, you'll see right on the page where you can go ahead and sign up for that. Definitely want people to sign up if you would like that help. And then as volunteers, same place, you go to the website and then there's a volunteer tab. Go there, easy sign up, and self kind of driven through, and you can sign up and help people with hope and support.
Thank you so much, Robert, for taking the time today. It's awesome getting to know your company, and I really appreciate you doing this interview with us.
No, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You've been listening to a KPOV Critical Conversation. To hear more engaging interviews on important topics, please visit kpov.org/criticalconversations.